Today we have a very special guest. His name is Oakley. He became an IT consultant at only 20 years old, and he talks about the power of consistency paired with hard work and how with those two things you can achieve anything. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and enjoy the rest of the episode. Peace.
Welcome back to another podcast. Today we are here with Oakley, a 24-year-old IT consultant, a good friend, and also just a very cool person I want to bring on the show. Without further ado, Oakley, why don't you just tell us about yourself and what do you do, man?
Yeah, I'm just a guy that pushes buttons on a keyboard, to be honest with you, most of the time. But no, me and Simon met through a run group here in Minneapolis and kind of just have naturally become friends over time just because we have a similar mindset of putting our heads down and kind of going after what we want.
Yeah, going after what we want is exactly the right way to put it. Speaking of that, what do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah, like what do you want? Like tell me what kind of got you into IT.
I mean, tech's an interesting thing for sure. I know like when I was coming out of high school, it was kind of the new thing. Like if you wanted a job that was paying relatively well, you go into tech. I mean, everything's changed drastically since 2019, but I think for the better and for worse, tech is still growing and flourishing. But originally, like what got me into tech is I had an exchange student that lived with me.
Oh, okay.
And he came from Germany, lived with us for an entire year. And he kind of got me hooked on the computer, to be honest with you, because like growing up as a farm kid, like parents are very strict, like limit screen time, like kept me away from TV, like much of a outdoors kid. But as I naturally got older, I ended up falling more and more into tech, probably just because my parents were like, don't do that. And I was just like, I got to break the rules somehow. But
Wow. Wait, so your parents didn't want you to become an IT?
well, they didn't really care what I did. They just wanted me to do something. Like they were just like, as parents should do, keep kids off of tech at a young age. Because you learn a lot of like social skills and everything, just talking with people and like getting outside. So I think that's kind of why they kept me off of it. But also like we didn't have a lot of access to it. Like we didn't have a computer at home as a kid.
Wow. So going from not having it a lot, would you say that definitely like trains you to just be able to use it in a very effective way or appreciate it a little bit more because they're so limited? Or
I would say like when I was young, I was always tinkering with everything.
okay.
So like, you got the TVs, you got the VHS player, and you're just sitting there taking them apart, putting them back together. And then you saw a DS or a PlayStation or something. You're like, I'm going to take it apart, put it back together, and just naturally just working on things. Anytime there's an issue, I was always like trying to like help out. So just naturally, I liked working in tech and just found it very like interesting and stimulating for that perspective.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, I feel like when I was a kid, I was taking things apart, putting them together, playing with like wires, plugging, seeing what fit into what and all that stuff. I could definitely relate to you in that aspect. So that's pretty cool. So tell me, man, as an IT consultant, what does your day-to-day look like, man?
I mean, IT consulting never has like a linear path. Every consultant's different. I work heavily like on the delivery side. So I'm not necessarily sales. I'm not an architect. Like today, I will eventually, hopefully, I will get into that role. But like right now, I'm on the delivery side. So everything I do is very much focused on the technical aspects of things. So we'll work with clients right now, scope out IT projects, networking specifically. So you can think Wi-Fi, switches. I always tell everyone I'm the plumber of the internet because really I'm just building the back end of everything to make everything communicate. So all the new AI data centers, all the existing legacy systems all communicate over the internet. And I'm just working on building that out. That's kind of what I focus on right now is that implementation side of things. So architects will come up with the design with some of our larger clients. And then from there, the architects and I are very close. They hand a project off to me. And then I work with some of our largest clients to get things deployed and implemented. And the biggest thing is just deadlines. I know from a day-to-day basis, the reason I say it's not the same is because I'm the one scheduling all my calls. I don't have a project manager that schedules calls. Like I have a program manager, of course, and every company is different, especially in the consulting space when it comes to IT. Whether you're a big firm or a small firm, there's also different flavors of it. So you have MSPs, which are managed service providers. Then you have VARs, which are value-added resellers. So just the whole IT consulting space is very interesting, especially working on a network. Of course, you have your software, your independent guys. But from a day-to-day perspective, it consists of being on calls with clients for 7 to 8 hours a day, helping them go through a process. So in some cases, I'll be sharing my screen and I will actually be driving and doing the things, pushing the buttons for them. But in other terms, because most of the time I'm kind of acting as like a teacher to them or helping them learn a product because long term they have to support a product that we implement for them. So they'll end up like sharing their screen. I'll be helping them through stuff, whether it's like Cisco stuff, Palo Alto stuff. We're kind of the two big players that we work with. Juniper, I'll be helping them through that process. And then once they feel comfortable, they end up taking it on. Or once our scope of the project is complete, they take it on. So a lot of my days just spent, again, sitting on calls with clients, talking them through stuff, really being a mentor to them, and then hammering out emails until the abyss of the night. So
To the abyss of the night, man. I can relate to you about emails. Do your clients even know you're even 24 years old? Or is you just like, it's just like so high level that it's just like, okay, somehow like you gotta do this. Or
yeah, the age thing is quite interesting, I would say. I mean, I got into consulting when I was 20 and kind of worked my way up naturally. So I'm with my third firm in 4 years, which sounds terrible if you really ask me. But I think the first IT company I worked for was like a stepping stone. It's right out of college. It was like the first job I took. Got promoted a few times and realized like I needed to do something different. Went and worked for another firm, worked in like venue spaces. So working with the MLS, the NFL, doing IT systems for venues. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. But I mean, I was traveling all the time.
yeah.
You're flying on a plane. I mean, it could be a Friday in the afternoon and you get an email at 2 o'clock and says, hey, you're flying out Sunday night.
Wow, no, that
And then you're flying and you're gone for a week. So like trying to like make friends, maintain relationships, it's just not possible. And especially working, what I would consider like what you see in the finance space, 70, 80 hours a week. You're in the office until 10 p.m. at night.
yeah.
You go home, you crash, you get back around the office for your 8 a.m.s.
Wow.
So like that stuff was like really common. And then I really liked that company because we had a really good culture. So I understand like I'm saying like, oh, we worked all the time, but it was effortless. We had the leadership in place. We had the engineers in place. Everything was just flowing communication wise. And it was a cool space working like within the MLS, especially because soccer is relatively new in the States and working with over half the teams at the time.
Oh,
You got to see a lot, and it was one of those things where I was a senior engineer over there. So like I'd work with one club and I would get on a call with another club, a new client, and they would already know who I was. So it was really cool from that perspective. Unfortunately, the ownership kind of crumbled unexpectedly. So we had a CEO that was like kind of like the leader. Of course he had like the vision. He was also our sales guy, brought everybody in, but he like tragically passed. I talked to him on a Friday. We were bullshitting in the office, casually. He was giving me crap about not watching Star Wars
yeah.
at the age of 22. And unfortunately, I got a call Saturday morning that he had passed from heart attack.
Oh, my
And
goodness. My condolences.
yeah, just pray for his kids at this point. But I mean, you stick around. I went, still worked there for another year. We were trying to pull the company together, but really what ends up happening, especially when you don't have like a lot of other ownership around, it's pretty common in the IT space. A PE firm comes in, puts in new management, it gets bought out, they wipe the floor, you conform. So I was like not conforming and I was like, it's my time to leave. So
All at the age of like 20, 21, huh?
yeah, that would have been 23. So then I'm on to my new firm now, which was the blessing in disguise really, because I'm kind of reunited with some old coworkers here. It's internal recommendation. So I kind of had my way in right away through like a 6-month interview process. And then I finally ended up getting the role. So,
Wow. Sounds awesome.
but no, it's been quite a journey. I mean, but with that said though, I mean, I went to college, had to get a bunch of certs in the tech space.
What age did you graduate college?
20.
20?
Yeah, so I have an undergrad at Ridgewater. So I went to Ridgewater, got a network and systems administration degree, 2.5-year degree. Got it done in a year and a half, worked full time during that process and just kind of like put my head down and focus on it. I mean, it was mid-COVID, but also like after high school, I just knew like I had to get my shit together.
Yeah.
Like I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work in the tech industry, that I wanted to like get away from where I grew up. In essence, like I wanted to like build it my own life. From that, being like the oldest brother, I feel like you always have to lead by example.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing with me is like I'm gonna lead by example. That's why I went into like college, just 19, 20 credit semesters and just put my head down and just got it done.
Yeah, I mean, now a lot of people are doing that. 1920 credit semesters is tough. Even advisors wouldn't advise.
No, it was not advisable,
Yeah.
especially working full time. I mean, I lost a lot of friendships through it. That's just the real thing about it. But like, I think for me, the way I looked at it is like, a moment in time or like focusing on myself can only set myself up for success long term. So like I would basically say like I wasted, probably 3 years of my 20s to like put myself in a good spot long term just because hopefully the reward is worth it, like that's the only hope.
Yeah, and I would have to say like, you know who she is, Malika. She's done something very similar to what you done. I mean, shout out to Malika, by the way. She's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but no, she did the exact same thing. Like after high school, she graduated, and then she had like two things. Like all her friends went to college, and she just decided to number one move out of her move out of her mom's house, and then move in with her grandparents. And with her grandparents, she just literally worked 80-hour weeks and just like put her head down and grinded for 2 to 3 years straight. And then now she was able to buy like 2 houses, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And she's just like set herself in so well. And then even with another guy I talked to, his name is Jordan Westfall. You should go watch his video, by the way. But he's also only 20 years old, and he's similar story to you. He just put his head down when he was 16 years old, just started working. That one commonality that I've seen between every single person is like there has always been a point in time that they just put their head down and focused.
Yeah.
Was that implanted into you, or like how did you know how to do that in the first place? Because I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
missed it.
I think it's like, for me, it was my dad. I mean, he was like a leader in my life and like had a lot of impact. I mean, financially, like we didn't have everything growing up. And I saw my dad working 2, 3 jobs, just like always getting after it. Single dad until I had a stepmom she came into my life at 12 years old. So like up to that point, like we were living off a single income, and I just saw my dad working all the time and just knew like I didn't want that same struggle like in my life, having to like work all these jobs, juggle kids, and like I wanted to like one set myself up to not have to fight that hard, but also like be around when my kids get older, because like that's a big thing is like you end up like not getting as much time with your parents. I think that's just a real like reality of it, especially when they're working all the time, and like the people around you have a great impact on you. Like environment's a big determiner of your outcome in life. And I think no matter what, like you can do whatever you want to do. Like you can blame society for it. You can pull the poor me card, or you can like put your head down and like just go get after it and like see what you're really capable of. Because like I got my first job when I was 15. Was a 3-sport athlete, 4.0 student from like freshman year on. It's just through hard work. I'm never the smartest person, and I think anyone that thinks they're the smartest person is, full of themselves. But the only thing that you can really do is put your time into something and show up and dedicate yourself to something.
Yeah, nicely said. That's awesome. So motivating. Since you were a kid, you just knew how hard your dad worked. What drives you?
I wouldn't say it's a necessarily like a drive, but it's just like a burning fire. I would say like I get anxious by sitting around. Like I understand like it's a really big taboo thing, like anxiety or whatever, but I think anxiety is good. Keeps you off your ass and like becoming a lazy bum. But for me, it's just like I always feel like I have to be doing something because somebody's watching. Like I've always had like a mental frame, like I need to be doing something constantly because it just drives me insane to be sitting around.
Yeah.
Which I mean, probably not so good for my blood pressure, but it keeps me on my feet, whether it's running, lifting, learning more, or just working. But always just like, I would say I'm motivated by making other people happy, as weird as it sounds. Like I'm very driven on like making sure things are done. I cherish like seeing people being satisfied with something. So like I often like go above and beyond to like make sure things are done on time. And I also have like the mindset of like, who's going to do that? I'm going to do that. I never question of like, well, who's going to do that? Like this bystander effect never really affects me because I always have to take ownership of everything, even if it's not my problem.
Wow. Would you say that's healthy or no?
Self-ownership?
No, self-ownership is healthy. Would you say making like who's going to do that? Oh, I'm going to do that.
A people pleaser?
Yeah.
I think when I was younger, even it was really bad. I have limits at this point, like and have reset expectations, but like people pleasing can get you in a lot of trouble, I would say, because you often neglect yourself or the people closest to you to appease somebody that probably doesn't respect you back equally.
Yeah. Nah.
Because like that's a big thing is like you have to keep up with all your friends and everyone around you, and like people pleasing can get you in so much trouble. Also, like for me, like it's draining. It can be really draining.
Yeah. Don't people please.
You've probably heard me say it's like running everyone. Like I don't have to be liked by everybody. Just having that mindset like has helped me grow and develop and like set expectations and redefine myself in my past 23.
Yeah.
Because I'm only 24. I know we're so young, but I feel like you can grow so much in such a short amount of time if you actually like reflect and think about things. What are you going to do to actually make sure you're consistent with it? And like consistency is like the biggest thing. I wouldn't say I'm ever like dedicated. I'm just consistent.
Yeah.
I just show up every day, even if I'm tired, no sleep. I'll just show up.
How do you know what to show up for?
I think you have to have buckets. Like you can have times in your life where you overcommit a lot of time to like certain aspects, whether it's work, personal, family, fun, but you need to like have the distribution of your time. You can't try to spend 12 hours a day working every day, because then what ends up happening is on the back end other things suffer, whether it's your physical health, intimate relationships, your friendships, your family stuff, like your zen time. Like you have to break this all up. And for me, it's like, one, if I'm going to overcommit a lot of time into like work for say 1 week, I'm going to try to shift that a week after. But another thing I do is color code my calendar. So like I have things in my calendar and I just live by my calendar. And if my calendar says I'm doing something, I'm going to do it and make sure I get it done. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like I'd struggle trying to get things done on my calendar first.
But like I think that's a lot of things is like no one ever like takes into account like you can focus so much time, but like other things in life always get destroyed in the back end of it. If you don't keep up with your family, like your family's everything. Same with like friends and relationships, and like friends will only follow up with you for so long.
Yeah.
And it's important to understand like there's more to life than just work. I think everyone today in modern society gets caught up with like you have to create this like fake image of yourself, unfortunately, and social media is kind of destroying reality in most cases.
Tell me about social media. What are your views on social media? Where do you think it's going? Especially with like this, it's a new thing with like AI and AI content coming into the play and stuff. So tell me your thoughts on that.
I mean, I know you work like very much in the social media space, and like no hate or anything, but I think we're all gonna look back one day and realize like social media is the biggest waste of time, and we're gonna regret it. I think we spend way too much time on our phones. Like we get glued into it. And I mean, it's hard. Dopamine is like a real thing. And like iPad kids are becoming more and more of a reality. And like it's really impacting, I think, like social cues, like looking people in the eye, like how to talk to people in person, like how to do introductions. Like I know I'm young, being like 24 and like working in my industry, but like especially in the tech field, I see the biggest introverts ever. And I think it's like a big thing in general is like social media is like just not great for that. There's like, I don't know, fake influencers too, and all the marketing. I mean, everything is just an ad at this point.
Yeah, things are just becoming more ads and ads. Back then it was infomercials for TV first came out, and then now it's attention is income.
I mean, your time is valuable. And if you're spending, 4 hours a day on TikTok, like I can't feel sorry for you when you don't get your promotion you want next month, or like your relationship ends because, you see some perspective of someone else's relationship and you want more in yours. It's like enjoy the things you have in life and don't like compare yourself to others because you'll rip yourself apart. It's just the truth of things. Like you have to be happy with yourself before you can start comparing yourself to anything. And that comparison is just
is a thief of joy.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's like why like having somebody you look up to could be a bad thing because you're comparing yourself to them.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's idolizing people and just like trying to look for stuff in other people when really you have to just look for it in yourself. Yeah, for it to really like move the needle or get whatever you're searching for, the joy, the self-love, all these different factors that all have to come within the motivation, the grind, the want, the need. Those are things that you have to do within yourself. So here you're hitting a spot on.
I got a question for you though. I got to flip it back. How do you feel about like all these like big brand deals with like influencers and like players and just people in the media? Do you think it's like warranted? Because really at the end of the day, we're all just humans. Everyone has their introspection of things.
Yeah, so my idea about that was brand deals with people, some people like I would say idolize in a sense. Like one person I'm really like close with, she's just like a friend, family friend I've known for years. Her name is Nakim. She has over 1 million followers on Instagram. Talk to her and she's just like a regular human being. She's been on promotion shoots and been on ads, brand deals. Like she's been on the other side of it. And like I promise you, it's the only reason why the brands are doing that in the first place is because the brands are just trying to get access to the viewers and the audience. Only time the brands ever want to partner with someone with influence or someone who has a following is only because they want to just use the audience to be able to sell whatever product that they want in the first place.
Yeah, because influence is like a huge thing.
Yeah,
Like what percentage of your population can you influence to buy something?
exactly.
That's what it really breaks down to.
Yeah, exactly. People just want dollars.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's either they just want dollars or they just want to actually push a positive narrative. Yesterday, I was watching Shark Tank and there was this, I forgot her name, but she has this new toy that pretty much it educates children on how to read. And she just turned it into a game. It's kind of like flashcards.
Yeah.
But it's flashcards, but with like they get to just like push a bubble or whatever. And then that's their reward. And they get to just like spell it out on the thing.
So it's like Duolingo.
It's like a physical Duolingo.
Isn't Duolingo
Yeah.
physical?
Because like I think that's a good promotion because like she's promoting children on how to read. What are your thoughts on influencers and brand deals and those things?
I think like small creators do a really good job, but at the end of the day, I feel like the influencers that know the algorithm will win, no matter what, for better or for worse. Even if they're pushing the most heinous like marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
But it is really cool to see, like, I always enjoy watching like the social experiment unfold, how easy people are influenced to buy something.
Yeah, that is true.
Because I mean, like for you, even like when was the last time you bought a targeted ad?
A targeted ad?
Yeah.
Most targeted ad I bought is a studio, but I was looking for it.
Fair.
I was in the
Good
market
one.
for it.
I know, like for me, like I never buy anything targeted.
No,
I don't think I ever bought anything targeted. I'll just go do the research myself. I think that's just like self-control.
yeah.
What it really comes down to.
I do remember one thing that actually was really targeted. I guess not even targeted. I was on TikTok and then I saw the Magic Johnson screen protectors. That was the last thing I bought online. That was,
Oh yeah.
okay, like this, the dude smacked it with a hammer. Like what? I was super impressed with that. I was like, wow. And then that's what I have on my phone right now.
It's crazy. Like retail. I mean, also like instant gratification. Everybody wants everything yesterday.
Yeah.
Like you hit the buy button. They're like, when is it gonna be here? Like an Amazon can't make it any faster at this shop.
No, they can't.
That they give you free box and like ready on a truck, and it still won't get there in time for most people. It's just funny. No one's patient anymore, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
I think like a lot of things in life, you have to like be willing to like persevere through like the boring task and like all that, because everyone just wants instant gratification, and like you're not gonna get anything instantly. I think
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time and work.
I agree. I 100% agree.
It's all the work you don't see that actually contributes to the success of like anybody.
Have you read the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy?
I've not.
You should read it. I mean, I feel like you're already applying the principles, of course, and you already understand it. But I just think that's a really good read for anybody who needs help in the first place of trying to be consistent and also just want to just learn on how much work, time, and effort it takes to get a goal done. And like if you have a big dream and you have a big goal, it's gonna take time. It's through the small, baby, consistent steps, like Alex is saying right now, that you need to have.
Yeah, it's like a routine too, stick to it. I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about Atomic Habits too, but I've never ventured into reading that. So
I haven't ventured into Atomic Habits either. I've heard a lot of good things. Maybe we should do a book study on it.
yeah, send in the book recommendations.
Yeah.
The problem is like you have so many books at our fingertips, and it's like the most value comes out of probably the first book you read, and it's like you don't need to keep reading new books. You can reread the same books once a year, and you'll probably get more value, because it's not necessarily the amount of information it is. It's like if you can have more concise information that like is more valuable to you, and you can actually stick to it, you'll have more value in the end.
And when you say stick to it, you mean action?
Yeah, the action of it, because I mean you can read an entire book and there can be value in only a single paragraph.
Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true. Yeah, if you read all these books, but then there's no application to it, it's wasted knowledge. Yeah, because like knowledge is only useful when it's took action on. And then that's what's called wisdom.
Yeah, it's always funny. It's like you can see everybody like doing all these things, but they're not applying them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very much about like stick to my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to pursue it and follow through on it. I don't like not fulfilling promises. That's a big thing to me. It's just like people that lie or like don't fulfill or pursue what they say they're going to do. Like, of course, when you're having a casual conversation with a friend and you're joking around, like, I don't care what you say. I'm not gonna judge, like whatever. But like if you're like very serious and like we have a very deep conversation and you're like, I need to make a change, and then we talk about it and you ask for like feedback, or even I'm asking for feedback from you and like I don't take action, it's not worth my breath. Why waste the breath to have the conversation if they're not gonna actually like pursue it or like fulfill or apply it in their life?
That's a very interesting take. How would you know if a person is going to take action or not?
I mean, most of the time you burn the first time and you learn with friends, but it depends. I think like I'm not gonna like talk to everybody just naturally. Like for you, I mean, like it took us hanging out quite a few times for me to like even open up and talk about certain things. And I think it's just one of those things like I have to know a person before I'm willing to like talk about certain things, just because like we can talk hypothetical, but I don't know. I guess it's more like I guess I want to be heard, and it's not like, waste it. I think everyone gets tied up in like work in general and like, oh, you have to be doing XYZ thing to like jump on this trend or do whatever. And it's just too serious all the time. And I wish, I just want to be more carefree, I guess, within friendships and relationships. Circle back to that. You help somebody once, you burn, you learn your lesson, and you don't help them again. It's what it really comes down to.
Give me a 3-step framework for someone who wants to fast track their success, or not even fast track, because fast isn't real. A 3-step approach to being where they want to be.
Being where they want to be, or like being a better version of themselves.
Be a better version of themselves.
Before you can be better in anything, you have to know who you are, understand what your goals are, and ask yourself what you're willing to sacrifice. So set goals with deadlines. What are you willing to sacrifice this to? And then 3, ask yourself if you're like willing to pursue it. That's what I would say. Commit to it.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I think it's worth setting lofty goals, and everything changes. But I mean, it's fun working technical right now, but eventually I want to get out of the technical space. So not necessarily completely technical, but more on the delivery side of things. Ideally, like I'm working into like architect role here, and I'm going to continue pursuing that. But eventually, like I've always joked around and said, like by 30, I want to be like an upper manager, or like a CTO of something relatively small company. I know they're very lofty aspirations, but I feel like if I set goals that are unattainable, it gives me something to shoot for. And I think 5 years is a long time and you can learn a lot, but there's a lot of things I have to work on, beyond technical to get to like where I want to go.
That's awesome.
Everything changes too. I mean, like that's just like work. I know that's what we're talking about, but it's like also what do I want? Like friendships, relationships, like do I want to buy a house, stuff like that. So like there's goals outside of just work that I have too. But
What's one thing about cybersecurity that would shock the average person?
being through some ransom like cleanups and everything, it's always human error. It always comes down to human error.
Like, really?
In most cases, the biggest thing with cybersecurity is the hole or whatever, however this system was attacked is almost always because of a human error, a misconfiguration, a fat finger, It always comes down to that, or like lack of awareness by people. Like that's what it really comes down to, the human aspect, the traps that people fall for, whether it's like phishing emails, social engineering attacks. Because I mean, that's a real thing too, especially when you get to higher up. Like you'll have targeted social engineering attacks. Social engineering is basically psychological manipulation to get people to give you information like normally shouldn't give to you. There's multiple things, like surfing is what it's called, shoulder surfing. Easy way to think about it is someone follows you up to your floor in an elevator or into a building. Like something like you might be nice, like let somebody into the building because you think they work there. That's like a great example of social engineering to like get something from people. And I think awareness of that just in general, like can help prevent people taking advantage of you, like in general, like in the open space. But cybersecurity really comes down to awareness. There's a lot of tools out there, so much marketing, working in the space. What you realize is like a lot of it is just crap.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was like, we stepped into a whole nother world just now. I was like, whoa.
When it comes to like, moving up in tech too, it's not just the technical aspects, because you can be the most technical sound person ever, but like there's a human aspect of things too. Like you have to like make people like you, and like you have to be very personable, and like why are they doing it in the first place, and like understanding the budgets and all those other aspects that like contribute to the success of anything technical. And like technology is supposed to be a tool for people because it's a cost center for a lot of companies, like it's not making the company any money in most cases, like those Outlook licenses and all the things that you come to appreciate. They cost companies a lot of money, and like, it's a cost center at the end of the day. And it's like, how can companies keep their IT footprint as small as possible while, offering all the tools that everybody wants, like the new like AI chatbot or something like that. And I mean, in most cases, like companies provide all these tools, but no one knows how to leverage them. So they just go to waste. And like, that's where proper training comes into play, proper documentation of like making sure your team can use these tools and has value. There's a lot to tech that people don't think about, especially when they like are trying to be very aware of everything that goes on. I think that's just like anybody. It's like any job you can be in, you can just be a contributor, or you can be somebody that's aware and tries to like understand everything that interconnects the business and why the wheels keep turning, and like understanding like that everyone's role is important. Everyone always gets caught up in themselves, but it's like it's the combination and the collaboration of the entire organization that brings us success. It's not like your single contribution that brings and makes a company successful. So like, yes, at the end of the day, you're a number, but your number contributes to the greater good and outcome of the company. And it's not an I, it's a we in everything we do.
Dang, sounds like I want to work with you. That sounds like an amazing work environment.
It's just like a team aspect, It's like if you've ever played for any sports team, you have to work together, whether it's football, soccer, baseball. Like you can't win the game for everybody. Like sure you can do a lot and contribute a lot, but it's still the people around you that make it successful. And like through team sports, you learn how to like deal with emotions. Like you can freak out at somebody one day and your best bud's the next day. Like understanding how to overcome those hurdles, but still at the end of the day realize like you could be absolutely screaming at each other and then go back out there, and then you put your head down, put your emotion aside, put it in your chest, push forward, go till the end. And it's never done until how they say in sports, till the whistle blows. But
So if the person wanted to break into tech, right, what approach should they do?
I mean, tech is interesting because it moves so fast. A lot of people go to college for it. I know I have a different perspective of it, going to like a 2-year degree, do what you want to do, but also like it depends what you want to do. Like when I was going to college, I didn't care to party, so I went and did 2 years thing. For me, I would say like go in to get your associate's degree, get a boatload of certifications, not too many initially, at least have a job before you start getting certs, because there's a real thing in the tech industry where they're called paper pushers, people with a bunch of certs with no experience.
Yeah.
Because real world experience is huge in tech. What they put in a piece of paper doesn't always translate to real world, and every client, every customer is different. Everybody's different. You have to be very nimble. You have to be able to understand very like complex ideas. So like go get a degree if you want. You don't necessarily need a degree, especially if you're savvy. Degrees don't really mean as much in tech, but they can be like a good thing because college does offer value at the end of the day. Like I think people should go to college to an extent, not saying you need to, but I think it can provide a lot of value in just like networking, building a personal network, dealing with different dynamics, and like exposing you to a different way of thinking that you never had growing up in your home. Because a lot of the time living with parents, family, friends, you're exposed to the same people who have the same ideas, the same perspective. And through college, you can, meet new people, see different perspectives on things, have a completely different outlook on life, have very constructive arguments with people with like very good outcomes in a stress-free environment, especially through professors. They can teach you a lot. So that's why I say you go to college, because you can learn a lot about yourself, people, and it can have the side effect of it costs a lot of money, but then after that go get certs and then focus on the personal aspect, man. Because like again, everybody in tech, you can be the most technical person, but like if you're not enjoyable to talk to, like no one wants to like have you work. Like it's a team thing too, like everyone has the stereotypical like tech person like implanted in their head, unfortunately.
Would you say that any religion plays a part into this, helping you achieve your goals or anything, or would you say it's just like all you?
I'm not a religious person. I was like raised Catholic. I would say I'm agnostic at this point, but I don't know. I think everything in life correlates to causation has correlation, and most things can be explained. And I guess I don't need an explanation on everything, but no, I'm not like a religious person. I believe there could be something, but I guess I've never really had one of those moments. I think through religion, though, community is a huge thing, and it has a powerful impact on the outcome of the people that are in it.
Thanks for your answer.
I also think like it's very interesting to read different like types of religions. It's like Bibles from different things, because it opens you up to different ways of thinking. Like people, like we're all so close-minded, and I think you can learn a lot just reading different scriptures and stuff like that.
What would you suggest to read?
I mean, just Bibles in general. Back to that. I mean, like it's interesting to always read them.
How's it working, Oakley?
I don't know. Try to keep my body in somewhat decent shape. Running, lifting, averaging like 25 miles a week on running. Lifting 4 days a week on top of that.
Oh, wow.
Trying to keep my health in shape.
How many calories you eat in a day?
Minimum like 3,000.
Minimum 3,000?
Yeah, for sure. I'm always eating, it feels like, but, and I don't know. It's, you got to eat to perform in that aspect, but also like through training, it's more of a consistency thing too, like consistent, and that makes being consistent in other aspects of life easier. It's kind of like a routine. And also like running community is awesome. Again, like that's how Simon and I met. Like running is fun. Like I know everyone's like, oh, it sucks. It takes a long time to like it, but like once you get into it and like you enjoy like, you know, just getting out, seeing your friends, running, like it's very conversational. Like you meet a lot of people, like very genuine people, and like it's pretty low riffraff, you know, like people are always there to better themselves.
It's a good environment to be in because you're always just pushing the next person. It's not me versus you, it's a you versus you, and you get to unlock new levels within yourself with that run.
So when are we running a marathon? You gotta sign up for one, right?
Oh my goodness, that's crazy, bro. Marathon.
Come on, you gotta get one under your belt at least once. You gotta know what trauma bonding feels like.
All right, if this video get 100 likes, I'll do a marathon with you.
Run up the numbers, please.
Yeah, 100 likes and we're running a marathon, and Albert is my bond. So, what's the most important word that's ever like affected your life?
Single word.
Single word.
I mean, there's maybe statements, but like a single word is like super hard to think about. I would say like perseverance. Perseverance is like a word that I would say like has a lot of meaning to it.
I like perseverance. Perseverance is awesome. Same with resilience.
But you're always persevering through something, whether it's, you know, you get relationships, friendships, the hard times, the good times. No matter how high you can get, you always have to come back down. And I think if you have like super high highs, those lows are even lower and lower. So
Yeah, and the more you can persevere, the more you can get over anything.
Yeah.
If we want to take it a step further, there's always been like you've been persevering your whole life, like through everything that you've done. There has not been a single time that you haven't persevered through one thing.
yeah,
Everything you've overcome, every single.
that's everybody too.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody. What an amazing word. I got more questions for you. You got any questions for me?
What do you got planned? Any goals for the end of the year that you want to achieve?
I mean, there's a few, but I don't want to.
Yeah, you can't leak into what's coming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get that. Like, I'm always about like I have the same like perspective of like why share the goals until you achieve the goals.
Just working every single day, man. That's all I can say. Get to 100 subscribers. That's like one goal. Not really. I just kind of made that up right now for the video, but
I love the conversation, man.
it's always great chatting with you too. 100 likes. I'm running the grandmas. I heard a lot about grandmas, man. So
Yeah, get ready for heat stroke because I don't know what it turns into because it's so hot up there.
I like to eat those. So thank you so much, Oakley. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Simon.